Well, we've all been there. Opened up our bank account app, looked at it, and went, this is scary. Hi, my name is Stephen Boyd, and today I'm going to give you 7 easy steps to be able to open your bank account and not have that terrified moment. I'm going to demonstrate to you 7 easy steps to build an effective budget so that you can plan effectively for the future. Now, before we begin today, I want to talk about what is a budget. Well, there's an easy answer for that. A budget, in simple terms, is your income, or all the money you bring in, minus your expenses, or all the money that you pay out. Now, an important thing to remember about a budget is your budget should always end up with 0 for each month that you plan. Now, that doesn't mean that your bank account should be 0. There's a huge difference between a $0 bank account and a $0 budget. What a $0 budget means is that you're adding up effectively and you're planning effectively all the money that you receive and you spend on a monthly basis. Now, let's talk about the steps of each step in order to build this budget. Well, first, step 1, we want to talk about our income. We want to list out all the money that we bring in. Your income is your paycheck or the money that you receive after your taxes, and it could also be any excess funds that you bring in. Let's say you have a phone bill and people pay your phone bill, right? People give you money to pay a phone bill that you then pay out. That's considered income. Step 2 then is to build and identify those expenses that you pay out. Now, I put expenses into 4 categories, right? I put it into loans, fixed expenses, I put it into fun expenses, and your savings expenses. So let's talk about step 3, which is identify the debts of your expenses. These are your mortgage payments. These are your student loans. These are your car payments. Debts are super important when it comes to managing your finances, because if you don't manage your debts, you lose credit and then you lose the ability to buy in the future. So your debts category in the expenses is super important. So plan out your debts and list them all out and add them all up. Step 4 then is your fixed debt, or your fixed expenses. These are I call them your 4 walls, the things that help you to keep your house in order. For example, utilities, for example, gas to get to and from work, the food that you buy. These are items that you can't really delineate on. You can't really go without. These are fixed. So add up all your fixed expenses. Step 5 is then going to be your fun category. Add up all the amounts, all the times, all the money you spend going out on a Friday night, all the times that maybe you go on vacation, you go to concerts. This is the fun stuff, right? And an important way to kind of plan out your fun category is to look at how much you spent in previous months. Look at that banking statement. If you have spent an excessive amount of money, then maybe you want to adjust that budget and plan, okay, maybe I'm not going to be able to afford to go out on those Friday nights. Maybe I should only go out 3 times instead of 4 times, okay? And then the last, number 6, the last expense category is to plan out your savings. This is probably one of the more important categories here. We talked about how to build the money into your bank account. Well, the only way that you can build the money in your bank account is by building the savings category. Without having savings, right, then you're not going to have money to be able to spend in these extra excess categories like the fun category. You're not going to have money to be able to pay off your fixed income or your fixed expenses or your debts. So your savings expenses are probably one of the more important expenses, and this is probably going to be one of the ones that you can adjust to hit that $0 balance at the end of the month, right? So which brings us then to step number 7, which is balance the budget. The easiest way to balance your budget is to list all of this out on a piece of paper. Some people get fancy and use Excel spreadsheets. Simple is better, but add up your income, add up your expenses, and then balance it out. So for example, if your income, all the money you bring in, is $2,000 each month, You add up your expenses. Let's say your debts are $1,000 a month. Your fixed is $500 a month. Your fund is $250, and your savings are $250. We add all this up, you've got $2,000. 2,000 minus 2,000 then is 0, and you've got a balanced budget. It's important to note that if you don't have a balanced budget, if you're in the negative, then you need to decrease your expenses category. That means you need to reduce the amount of money that you have here. If you've got too much, then you need to add it up. But the goal is to have a balanced budget at the end of the month. So these are your 7 easy steps to build an effective budget. I hope you've learned a lot today. I hope my advice to you has been helpful. And the next time you open your banking app, you don't have a scary moment. Have a great day. Thanks.